All right, let's talk about minimum wage reform. Minimum wage reform. So let me see if I can bring that video back again, and then maybe hopefully you can hear it this time. Let's play this video, this short video.
2024 is a year of double celebrations for Nigerians.
Can you hear that? Yes?
Yes, I can.
All right, good.
Firstly, the 29th of May marking 25 years of uninterrupted democracy, which is a significant milestone for the country. And secondly, the 12th of June, recently designated as the country's Democracy Day, dedicated to the widely accepted election outcome in the country's history, adjudged to be won by the late Moshood Abiola in 1993.
My fellow Nigerians.
In the traditional speech of President Bola Tinubu on this special day, he begins by recognizing the labors of those who fought for the country's democracy.
We lost great heroes and heroines along the way. And this struggle, the winner of June 12, 1993 presidential election, Chief MKO Abiola, the most significant symbol of our democratic struggle, his wife, Kudirat, General Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, and
Anyway, let me not, I don't want us to waste too much time on that. There's this article here, right? It's on I'm finding it on the Reuters. Nigeria's presidency says economy reforms would continue despite hardships. Nigeria President Bola Tinubu said on Wednesday economy reforms will continue despite increasing hardship that had fueled public anger, and promised to send an executive bill to parliament soon to set a new minimum wage. So we're talking about minimum wage, okay? Tinubu, who came to power a year ago, removed a decades-old petrol subsidy that kept prices artificially low and devalued the currency, sending inflation soaring to 33.69% in April, its highest level in nearly 3 decades, and eroding incomes. In a television broadcast to mark Democracy Day, Tinubu acknowledged hardships caused by the reforms, which also include high interest rates and a partial removal of electricity subsidies. But he said this would create a stronger foundation for future growth. Now, my question for you is that, do you believe this? Abi, is he whining us? What is going on?
Which one are you asking that? Are you asking if I believe? Do you mean that
do you believe
continue on the path of hard economic reforms, or that?
That's a good question.
Uh-huh.
Do you believe that he's capable of this so-called reform? He's going to continue on the path of reform. That's what he's claiming. But is he capable of actually reforming that nation, considering the pain?
Yeah, what reform should we expect from him if it's going to be a hard pill for the citizens to swallow? For example, virtually everyone in Nigeria today is going through this phase of being pauperized, being thrown into outright destitution. So whatever reform you are doing, if it does not translate to good living standard, making sure that citizens have this affordable purchasing power and what have you, of what essence is that kind of reform? Who is it reforming for? Is it trying to, playing to an international gallery in the name of a neoliberal economic dictate coming from Bretton Woods institutions in Washington, D.C., or that one that would ensure that Nigerians can really say that, oh, democracy is worth it? Because at the end of the day, if it does this and then it ends up making democracy unpopular and some trigger-happy idiots wake up someday and decide to say, okay, this civilian democracy is sagged.
So let me give you, based on your question, because it was really a good question. Let me give you this direct quote from him for context. And I quote, "Our economy has been in desperate need of reform for decades. It has been unbalanced because it was built on the flawed foundation of over-reliance on revenues from the exploitation of oil." Go ahead, sir.
He is not completely being sincere there. Nigeria's economy, yes, is desirous of reform, but that reform should be in the shape and form of putting structures in place that will prevent politicians like Tinubu from stealing most money available in the system. For example, in which way is he serving the interest of the common Nigerian? Spending over 90, you say you remove oil, fuel subsidy, then you spend over 90 billion naira to sponsor people on unproductive pilgrimages to Mecca, and you hold them accountable on that. They say, "Oh, Christians also get." Whether it's Christian, traditional religion practitioners, or Muslims, that is a wrong priority in this time and age. How much are they devoting on education? Go and check the provision they made for students' loan in Nigeria by this government, compared with the 90 billion naira spent on pilgrimage to Mecca. Now, you go to pilgrimage to Mecca, does it mean that you are going to make a journey? Does it mean that if you go to Jerusalem, does it mean that you have earned a ticket to go to heaven? Why don't you prepare the heart of the people, which is a personal thing? Why is the state involved in that? So what we're saying is that what should easily have funded infrastructure, but more than even infrastructure, developing human resource for Nigeria, is what is being diverted anyhow. And then to say that, oh, it's because it's over-reliance on oil. Qatar is so rich in gas. Several countries in the Middle East rely on petrol dollar. Saudi Arabia. The question is, what is Nigeria doing with its own revenue from fossil oil? So that said, there are other things that can be experimented. But when you begin to trace majority of Nigeria missing funds to people like Yahya Bello, allegedly, you trace it to people like the indicted Accountant General of the Federation, that I don't know if it was safekeeping that money for Nigerians, well over 100 billion naira. 4 trillion traced to Emefiele or Emefiele, whatever the name is.
Emefiele.
Emefiele.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a misnomer. They should just put that only. Thief. As a suffix to his name. And they are connecting journalists. Lately, you see one year publication in Nigeria, an online thing that was based in America here before, criticizing Emefiele. But that guy, in the name of online journalists or what have you, went to collect about 400 million from Emefiele. And then they said, oh, this would help in buffering online subsector of journalism in Nigeria. What did he do? Went to buy, went to get residence in a banana island, bought himself a G-Wagon, started moving around with what do you call this police VIP, VIP
convoy.
Yes, convoy. A journalist for that matter.
Really?
And we are the most vociferous, the loudest in criticizing the system. But what we are always looking for is an avenue for us to also perpetuate our own form of fraud and corruption in the system. So Tinubu saying all this. Of course, also look at the packaging of Babagana Kingibe. I respect him, but this is a man who committed political harakiri, political suicide. He was the winner of that joint ticket. I mean, he was a joint winner of that ticket with MK Abiola as the vice presidential candidate. But immediately, offers were dangled. He betrayed the cause. He betrayed the cause, but he has been rehabilitated by the political class in Nigeria today. He was the one that was making such flowery statements at the celebration. And by the way, Tinubu staggered there, going to make that statement, because the system also understands, or the nation understands, that he may not also go there to make completely honest statements. He staggered. He almost collapsed there. And look at Bayo Onanuga coming out with statements to say, oh, Joe Biden stumbled before Obama did this. They're always looking for stupid equivalents elsewhere. How about mentioning Fidel Castro that stumbled and collapsed and fell face down like that and never, ever, never got rehabilitated to power in Cuba? So we must look at the minds of these people. We must look at their health, and then we must look at things they shone out on all of us. Tinubu, yes, I wish him well. I am not. I criticize constructively. I want him to succeed, but he has to help himself. The onus is on him as to his intentions for coming into power, as to the people, the interests he wants to serve. Is he going to just hand himself this? What's it called? This historical stuff that it was president in Nigeria, and then look at the way we mentioned IBB. Is still finding him out as a manipulative leader, military leader, unelected, called himself military president. Fine. At the end of the day, what did he make out of it? Is he happy today? He's still alive. Is he happy the way Nigeria has played out in his? He had the opportunity of making things right. The same way Tinubu too has an opportunity now of being there, being present, being a witness to history that serves the good of the people. But if he's making a choice that is different from that, what do? We wish him well. We see how far he can go with that. But he has to be honest and free himself from the feistiness of individuals like Bayo Onanuga. Even if Tinubu is going into hellfire, he will be clapping him on and then attack people that he should not attack.
Thank you so much for that. Let us know your thoughts. I know the minimum wage thing is an ongoing story. We'll continue to cover it as it comes on our radar.
All of them are in denial as to what Nigeria can pay. Of course, another article came out in New York Times drawing attention to the moment at which we have been right on this platform. We said Tinubu pushed the equivalent of the nuclear button, when he said, subsidy is gone. Who was he trying to impress? Today he's dealing with that. And what is he doing now? He says, he will continue to do these tough reforms. In spite of the pains on it, and there's not being a woman, he will compare between that and Shabba. Has he ever given birth to a baby before? Is he a woman? Maybe he did that through his whatever, I don't know. But what we're saying here is that he has to be careful. He should secure his legacy and not allow anybody. People who have been failures in the past, they will press it on him to end up as a failure.
That move, right? That move, the one you're speaking of, could be considered. We know it as what it is today. Was quite impulsive. Some could consider it bold move. Like as soon as it's coming, hit the floor ground, running. Right? You know how they say that, right? So,
yeah, people say that.
But it's important. It was basically an impulsive. Too. Yeah. But when the leader of a nation promises to do that, it doesn't literally mean you just throw everybody on.
Yes, in that wise. Because let us look at another angle to it. Being the commander-in-chief, is that the way he would have executed a battle plan for the country? And
exactly.
This is almost like what he did in the ground running, he worked himself, or he ran himself into an ambush.
Exactly.
And he is engulfed, he's embattled.
So if you claim so much that you inherited very bad economy from Buhari, we kind of all agree on that. Is he
even courageous enough to point it out? Buhari, for what he did through Emefiele, Buhari should be in prison today. Absolutely. After all, Donald Trump is facing his demon in court here. Since when have you ever heard that these people ever put any wrong-headed or hot-headed or hot-headed corrupt Nigerian past leader?
All right, let's round that up. That up.
They always love to protect themselves.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
This is the point and they will now want to invest some money on the presidential jet instead of taking care of the people.
That's what we heard. They approved for a new jet for the presidency. Anyway, that's another story entirely.
Yeah, that is called, Ola, you know what that is called? Glorious profligacy. It is wasteful. What is it going to do for anybody? Yes, they should focus on what would lift people up and the nation itself.
In fact, let me, since you've drawn me out, you know I love Adiola, so let me just play this for you.
I thought we're out of time here. You want to make
I am, but it's a short one.
Anyway, trust Diola with our humor.
Yeah.
Nigerian lawmakers want the president to buy 2 new jets. In this economy, people are hungry. It's a trap. If you buy new jets right now, Mr. President, people will be praying for you. The prayers that come with thunder. Can you imagine? My fathers, why don't you suggest you will reduce your salaries and allowances? You cannot suggest that you will reduce your own salary. Why can't you suggest that the president implements the new minimum wage ASAP? Presidential private jets, we have 6 presidential jets, yo. It's not just the one that is 19 years old. There are newer ones that can be serviced. If he doesn't want, let him start taking public transportation or let him take commercial plane. Then the president start to travel by road. They will fix all our roads. So, jokes aside, I know the president will not fly commercial, but they can service his jets. Can you imagine? Let them service his jets, yo, Jare. They probably already approved it. Nigerian lawmakers want the president to buy.
All right, that was it.
Yes, I agree with that. It's a trap to make Tinubu unpopular. And unfortunately, he doesn't even do much to help himself. And if he cannot help himself, who are we to say we want to help him? We can only suggest.
We're citizens.
Yes, that is our place. And our citizenship is the strongest office. Stronger than that of a Mr. President. You may laugh about that, but that is the reality.
A comment says, Emilocos are not hungry, it's their turn. But must buy that private jet, at least make them teach Peter Obi a lesson. In Diara.
Thank you for that comment.
All right. So hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We'll be right back. Check out this next segment.